Hello everyone, welcome to Maths and Science Intervention Club. My name is Mr. Nkuna. Today we're going to be doing grade 8 revision for what we did in week 1. We are looking at the topic of whole numbers. So now this week we did what is called whole numbers, right? So we have what is a whole number. Whole numbers are basic numbers that we can use to count. For example, we start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Those are whole numbers. Then we also have what is called natural numbers. These are numbers that do not have a 0 on it. Therefore, it starts from 1. Then we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and so forth. Those are our natural numbers. Then we have 4 operations. The four operations. So these are the operations that we use in our mathematics. So we have what the first operation, which is addition, right? And the sign for addition, it is this one. Then we also have what is called the subtraction, and the sign for subtraction, it is this one. We also have what is called multiplication, and the sign for multiplication, it is this one. And we also have what is called division, and the sign for division, it is these ones. Now the way I arranged my 4 operations is for us to know the inverse operation for each operation. Therefore it means the inverse operation for addition, it is subtraction, and the inverse operation for multiplication, it is division, and vice versa. Now we have the first, or the order of operation. The order of operation. How do we order when we are given an operation for us to do, right? Let's say we have 1 plus 2 times 3, right? 1 plus 2 times 3. Now if we were to find the value of this operation, of this sum, what were we going to do? We can say the answer is going to be, let us start from left to right. We are going to have what is 1 plus 2. The answer is going to be 3 times 3, and the answer becomes a 9, right? Now let us use a calculator and see what are we going to get if we do this particular sum. We have 1 plus 2 times 3, right? When we use a calculator, the answer, it is given as a 7. How come when we started from left to right, we got 9, but then the calculator gives us an answer of 7? The calculator will never be wrong, right? It means there's something that we did wrong here, meaning this particular sum here, it has to be wrong, right? Now, how are we going to know, or how are we going to find this 7 that the calculator is giving us? The calculator uses what is called BODMAS, right? The order of operation that we are supposed to use as well. Now, when we are given something to do, we have to know what does the BODMAS say. BODMAS say that we have to start with the brackets before anything. When we are given a sum to do, then after we are going to divide, we are going to multiply, then later on we can add and subtract, right? So here we are given 2 operations. We have a plus here and a times over there, right? Between a plus and a multiplication, which operation can we prioritize? We are going to see that we are required to prioritize this particular multiplication as our order of operation, meaning I'm going to have a 1 plus what is I'm going to have a 2 times 3. Therefore it means I'll have 1 plus what is 2 times 3. The answer is going to become 6, right? Therefore I'm going to have 1 plus 6, and what is 1 plus 6? 7. So when we are given something to do, we have to know the order of operation. Where do we start? So here we begin from left to right, which is not the correct way of us dealing with operation, because from left to right we are going to start with a plus, then from a plus we end up with a multiplication, which is wrong. We always have to prioritize our operation. In this example, we have to prioritize the multiplication before the addition, right? Now let us look at the first example. Now from the first example, we are given a calculate the following without using a calculator, without using a calculator. Right, so the first one we have a. Now with a we have 1 plus 5 times 3 minus 7 plus 2 times 8. Right, now this is what we are given. We are required to find the sum for this particular question. Right, what is the total for everything that we are given here? So we are going to see that we have different operations here. We have a plus this side, we have a multiplication sign here, we have a subtraction sign, we have another addition, we have another multiplication sign over there. But then we have to remember what is called BODMAS, meaning we have to know which operation are we supposed to prioritize in our example here. Now with our BODMAS, we are going to see that this particular times we have to prioritize it first, and this particular multiplication as well, we have to prioritize it first. Then after we can follow with addition and subtraction. Therefore it means I'm going to have a 1 plus what is 5 times 3, that is a 15, minus 7 plus what is 2 times 8, that is a 16. Right, so now from this particular at this point I am going to see I am only left with a plus and a minus. Right, now with a plus and a minus, I said those are inverse operation for each other. So if you are given inverse operation from your question, it does not matter where you start, you always start from left to right. But then if you have a times, minus, plus and divide, you have to know which operation you have to prioritize. So here it means I'm going to move from left to right. What is 1 plus 15? I'm going to have a 16 minus 7 plus another 16. Right, therefore I'm going to have what is 16 minus 7, that is going to become a 9 plus a 16, and what is 16 plus 9? My answer becomes a 25. Right, so if we mark such a question, you are going to receive 2 marks for knowing which operation you have to prioritize. Then after, you are going to receive 1 mark for your final answer. So when you're given such, you have to remember BODMAS, which operation are you supposed to prioritize. Now let us look at example B. Then we have B we are given 1 plus 3 open bracket 7 minus 2. Right, now from BODMAS we know that particular B from BODMAS we know that this particular B stands for the bracket. It means we have to prioritize the bracket no matter what, meaning we have to deal with whatever that is inside the bracket first before anything else. Meaning I'm going to have a 1 plus 3, and inside the bracket I have 7 minus 2. And what is 7 minus 2? That is going to become a 5. Therefore it means I'm going to have 1 plus, and we know that bracket also means multiplication. Therefore it means I'm going to have a 3 times 5, that is going to become a 15. Therefore I'm going to have a 1 plus 15. My answer becomes a 16. You are going to receive a mark for dealing with whatever that was inside the bracket, knowing very well that we have to prioritize our bracket. Then you receive a mark for the final answer, which is 16. Right, let us go to example C. We have 12 divided by 3 times 4 divided by 2 divided by another 2. Now from our BODMAS, we know that this is the order of operation. But then when you look at our sum here, we can see that we have a divide, we have a times, we have a divide, we have a multiplication as well. So these are inverse operation of each other. So if you have a divide and a times on your question, you have to start from left to right. It does not matter whether you start from right to left, the answer will be the same. But then for this one, we are going to start from left going to the right. I'm going to have a 12. I'm going to have a 12 divided by a 3, that is going to become a 4. I'm going to have a 4 times 4 divided by 2 divided by 2, and I'm going to have what is 4 times 4, which is a 16, divided by 2 divided by another 2, and what is 16 divided by 2? That is an 8 divided by 2, and what is an 8 divided by 2? My answer becomes a 4. So here you are going to receive 1 mark for the final answer, which is a 4, and 1 mark for you knowing that here you have to start from left to right, because a divide and a multiplication, those are inverse operation for each other. Lastly, Let us look at letter D. D we have 22 divided by open bracket 5 plus 6 plus 6 times 4 divided by 2, right? Now when we have such, we can see that we are going to revisit our BODMAS, right? When we revisit our BODMAS, we can see that the order of operation is a B bracket, meaning here we have to deal with our bracket first. Therefore it means I'm going to have a 22 divided by, inside the bracket, a 5 plus 6. And what is 5 plus 6? That is a what? That is 11 plus 6 times 4 divided by 2. Now here I have an addition sign, meaning I have to, an addition sign, it has to be the last operation that I have to perform here, meaning I have to start by prioritizing whatever that is here, then I start going with whatever that is there as well, giving my addition the last operation that I'm supposed to do. I'm going to have 22 divided by 11, that is a 2, plus, and on the other side I'm going to have a 6 times 4, that is 6, 12, 18, 24. I'm going to have a 24 divided by 2 as well. I still have to prioritize that division before I can even add, meaning I'm going to have a 2 plus what is 24 divided by 2, that is a 12, and what is 2 plus 12, that is going to give us a 14. Therefore it means I'm going to receive 1 mark for the 14 and 1 mark for me knowing that I have to prioritize the bracket first for me getting that 11 as well, and also 1 mark for knowing which order of operation I have to prioritize first before I can even add. Then after, let us go to the other part. We have what is called distributive law. So we have what is called distributive property of multiplication, which is also known as the distributive law. So let us say I have 2 open bracket 3 plus a 5. I also have a 2 times 3 plus a 5, right? I am going to find my answer in 2 different ways and compare if my answer is the same when I use those 2 different ways. The first way, I'm going to use BODMAS, deal with whatever that is inside the bracket. So here I'm going to use BODMAS by dealing with whatever that is inside the bracket. So when I deal with BODMAS, I'm going to have a 2 times inside the bracket I have a 3 plus a 5, and what is 3 plus 5? That is going to give me an 8. Therefore I'm going to have 2 times 8, which is going to give me 16, right? Therefore if I use BODMAS, this side I got 16. Let me go to the other side and use what is known as the distributive law of multiplication, right? The distributive law says whatever that is inside the bracket, you multiply it with whatever that is outside the bracket, right? It means we are going to multiply the term that is outside the bracket with every term that is inside the bracket, meaning the 2 will multiply the 3, the very same 2 will multiply the 5, then you add because we have an addition sign inside the bracket. Therefore this is what is going to happen. I'm going to have a 2 multiplying the 3 plus the 2 multiplying the 5. The reason I have a plus here, it is because there I am having a plus, right? Therefore what is 2 times 3? The answer is going to become 6 plus, and what is 2 times 5? The answer is going to become 10. And what is 6 plus 10? The answer becomes 16. Here I got 16, over there I also got 16. It means when I use BODMAS and when I use distributive law, the answer is the same, right? It means when I'm given such a question, I can use BODMAS or I can use distributive law. The answer will be the same, right? Now let us have a part whereby we have a subtraction on our distributive law. Let us say we have 5 10 minus 2. I also have 5 10 minus 2. Now let me use 2 method and see if the answer will be the same. The first method, it is going to be BODMAS. BODMAS, whereby I am going to deal with whatever that is inside the bracket. So inside the bracket, I have a what? I have a 10 minus 2. And what is 10 minus 2? That is going to become 8. And what is 5 times 8? That is going to become 40. Now let me go to the other side and use distributive law and see if I'm going to get a 40. Distributive law says this particular 5 will multiply the 10, and the very same 5 will multiply the 2. Then I am going to have a what? A subtraction, because already I had a subtraction. It means I'm going to have a 5 multiplying the 10 minus the very same 5 that is outside the bracket multiplying the 2. And what is 5 times 10? That is going to become a 50, minus what is 5 times 2? That is going to become a 10. And what is 50 minus 10? That is going to become a 40. When I used BODMAS, I got 40, and when I used distributive law, I also got 40, meaning the distributive law, it works, right? Now let us have this question as well. We are given calculate the value of the following, right? Now do not use a calculator. So let us say we have 4 times 63 without using a calculator. How are we going to multiply 4 times 63 without using a calculator? I am going to see that this particular 63, it is very much complicated. Now take that 63, break it down into its simplified form, right? Now I know that 63 can be rewritten as 60 plus 3. Right, so it means I have to calculate 4 times 63 without using a calculator, but let me use distributive property. Now it means I'm going to have 4 times, take that particular 63, it is the same as 60 plus 3. Can you see now I am able to use the distributive law, whereby I am going to have the 4 multiplying the 60, the very same 4 multiplying the 3. It means I'm going to have 4 times 60 plus 4 times a 3, right? It means I'm going to have, what is 4 times 60? 6, 12, 18, 24. That is going to be 240 plus 4 times 3, that is a 12. And what is 240 plus 12? The answer is going to be 252. I got my value without using a calculator, meaning I'm going to get a mark for me changing that 63 into a 60 plus a 3, so that I can be able to use the distributive law. Then I am also going to get a mark for me to now use that particular distributive law for multiplying the 60 and the 4 multiplying the 3, then 1 mark for the final answer, which is 252, without using a calculator. Right, let us look at B. We have let us say we have 20 times 50, 57. What is 20 times 57 without using a calculator? I am going to say that this 57, it is the value that is more complicated, right? Take that value that is more complicated, break it down into its simpler form. I know that 57 can be rewritten as 50 plus 7, meaning I'm going to have a 20 times open bracket 50 plus a 7. Can we see that now I can use the distributive law, whereby the 20 will multiply the 50, the very same 20 will multiply the 7, meaning I'm going to have 20 times 50 plus, because here I'm having a plus, 20 times the 7. Then what is 20 times the 50? The 20 and the 50, both of them, they have 2 zeros. I'm going to write those 2 zeros. Then a 2 times 5, that is going to become a 10, meaning my answer will become 1000. Plus 20 times 7, the 20 has 1 0, 7 times 2, that is going to become 14. Therefore it means I'm going to have 1000 plus 140. My answer becomes 1140 without using a calculator. Therefore 20 times 57, it becomes 1140. I am going to receive a mark for me to change that particular 57 to become a 50 plus 7. Then you are going to receive 1 mark for you using that distributive law, then a mark for finding our final answer, which is 1140. Lastly, we have see, I have 9 times 99 without using a calculator. So this 9 times 99, we are going to find its value by using two methods of our distributive law. I know that 99, it is the one that is mostly complicated, meaning I have to take this 99, break it down into its simpler form. Therefore, I know that this particular 99 can be rewritten as a 90 plus a 9, right? So I have a 9 times 99 this side. I want to use another method, 9 times 99. Now I'm going to use the distributive law. I'm going to have the 9 multiplying the 90, the very same 9 multiplying the 9. Therefore it means I'm going to have, now what is 9 times 90? That is going to be 810. That is going to be 810 plus 9 times 9, that is going to become 81. And what is 810 plus 81? That is going to be 891. Now let me go to the other side and see if I use a different distributive law, will the answer be the same, right? Now this particular 99 can be rewritten as 100 minus 1. Therefore it means I'm going to have 9 times 100 minus 1. So when I use the distributive law, the particular 9 will multiply the 100, and the very same 9 will multiply the negative 1, meaning I'm going to have a 9 times 100. 100 has 2 zeros, meaning I'm going to write those 2 zeros. Then I'm going to have, what is 9 times 1? That is going to be 9. Therefore it means my answer will be 900. 9 times 100 becomes 900. Then I'm going to say minus, because here I'm having a minus. And what is 9 times 1? That is going to become a 9. And what is 900 minus 9? The answer becomes 891. I use two different distributive law for this particular 99. 99 can be rewritten as 90 plus 9, or 99 can be rewritten as 100 minus 1. So the answer will be the same. Whether you use the one with the plus or the one with the minus, the answer will be the same. Therefore it means that is going to be my answer. Therefore the answer